What's going on, golf addicts? Welcome to Tour Junkies After Dark, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. We are the Tour Junkies. I'm DB. I got Pat Perry. We just recorded our own podcast for the Wyndham Championship 2021. And here we are late at night. We've been sipping on some podcast juice, ready to talk betting for the Wyndham. You're going to want to go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, please, because we're good guys and we deserve the thumbs up. And DraftKings deserves the thumbs up and they deserve the subscribe. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. But go ahead and do that for us. You know what I mean? And maybe comment below your dark horse pick to win the Wyndham, because dark horses tend to win the Wyndham. That's hard to say. Also, before we get started, Pat, shout out to us, because last week on the betting card, I had Abraham Answer, I had Harris English, I had Sam Burns, three men who looked to be winning the golf tournament at some point. Abraham Answer eventually did, and we had him on the card. So, you know, the published DB's Big Balls betting card article on tourjunkies.com that is a free read and takes about 5 minutes to read every Wednesday afternoon is now up 56 units on the 2020-2021 PGA Tour season, with now 4 events left. So what are you even doing with your life if you're not looking at that or listening to us? You know, we've been killing it all year. So let's keep it moving. Let's keep it rolling. The Wyndham is an interesting event, Pat. Tell us a little bit about Sedgefield Country Club, and then we'll get to it.
Yeah, as you said, it's an interesting event, and we're going to see a ton of scoring this week. It is a par 70 at Sedgefield Country Club, 7,131 yards, so not very long by tour standards. We got a classic Donald Ross design this week, which means you got like tree-lined fairways, greens that are relatively undulating greens, a lot of runoffs. That's just what Donald Ross likes to do. We got Bermuda grass from tee to green. The fairways are, it's relatively narrow, but they're not that difficult to hit. And even when you do miss them, the rough isn't all that difficult as well. The key here, though, is just look, you got to be great on approach, great with the putter this week on these Bermuda grass greens. And then, you got to take advantage on the 2 par 5s, which are easily scoreable. So for me, I'm definitely looking at ball striking, your greens and reg, your strokes gained approach type stats, your opportunities gained, your birdies, your scoring stats, your past champions here. You had Jim Herman at 21 under. In 2020, you had JT posted it also at 21 under, Sneds at 28 in 2018 at 21 under, and then Stinson and C. Woo 2 years before that at around 21 and 22 under as well. So that all that tells you is scoring is just a must this week. You got to score on this course. It is relatively or very easy, and so that'll be key. So there you go.
Yeah, one of the easier courses on tour, and 5 of the last 8 winners have been triple-digit long shot bombs pre-tournament, with Jim Herman being 600 to 1 last year. I mean, this is just one of those events when you have a birdie fest where 20 under, 22 under is going to win. It does present a lot of variance, and it does open up the field to almost any kind of winner that can get hot with the putter, hot with the wedges. I think that's going to be most important. So I'm with you there. Let's get to it and talk about who we like over there on DraftKings Sportsbook. Looking at the top of the betting board, you got Webb Simpson leading it off at 10 to 1. Hideki, Louis Oosthuizen, guys like that. Patrick Reed's won here before. He got his first PGA Tour victory here. Will Zalatoris, the young guy who, if he wins this week, he can compete in the FedEx Cup playoffs that start next week. If he doesn't, he has to wait until the new PGA Tour season starts in September. That's an interesting angle. Of course, you do have all the FedEx Cup standings, playoff implications for this week. Top 125 in the FedEx Cup get full status on the tour next year. None of those guys are up here at the top, but we're going to talk about some of those guys later on in terms of long shots, so something to know. Pat, anybody here on the top of the board that kind of tickles your fancy?
I really like Patrick Reed here at 20 to 1. I think that's a good number for him. We've seen his form not be that great recently, which I think is why you're getting him at 20 to 1 in this field. But as you mentioned, he's played extremely well on this course. He's won here before. You look at the stats. I mean, he's, looks good. He's top 20 in the field in strokes gained approach. checks a box and putting on Bermuda grass greens. I think at 20-1, that's pretty good value up at the top. If we're just talking about these like less than 25-1 odds guys, I think Reed is, to me, the best value here in this range.
Okay. I don't really like anybody here, if I'm honest. I think I'll basically punt anybody here until we get to like the mid-range 45-1 numbers. I think I'm good. Like,
okay, well, I mean, I'll let you start that range then, because I have a lot of guys in that range too. But yeah. I think 20-1 Patrick Reed makes a lot of sense here. I like it.
Reed's definitely got a history here. He's got a good game for the spot. Got his first PGA Tour victory here. He's been playing a lot of golf. He's been traveling a lot. I think I'm out. I mean, I said 5 of the last 8 winners were triple digits, and one of those that wasn't was 80-1, and that was Patrick Reed. So I just think I'm going to stay away. But if I'm getting down into more the mid range, I like Charles Schwarzel at 45-1.
Love him.
He's quietly having a very good year. It's kind of surprising when you look at it. I mean, he just finished runner-up at the 3M Open, but Charles Schwarzel is doing his thing. His best putting surface is Bermuda, so he's best on surfaces like this. And off the tee and ball striking has been tremendous, really, since the Masters in April. He's just, something's clicking, and he's doing well. Since the Masters, he's only had one miscut. He's had a 14th place finish, a 13th, a 19th at the U.S. Open, and a runner-up at the 3M. Like, Schwarzel's clicking, and I think this could be a pretty nice week for him. And he's got a good history at the Wyndham. He played here last year, missed the cut. Whatever, he wasn't playing as well. It wasn't good tee to green. Played here previously in 2015 and 2012, and finished 3rd and 14th. So he knows what to do. And he's hitting his ball well right now. So I like him at 45-1 on DraftKings. And then I'm going to go with a guy that I normally don't go with, Pat, but I'm going to go with Brandt Snedeker. I am buying Brandt Snedeker at 55-1. I know it's not like me. I don't usually do the Snedeker, but he is he's a winner. He's a winner here at 28-1 was his last was it when he won here in like 2018, I think. But he's in a good little run too. Going back to like near Masters week at the Valero, he's only missed one cut with a 6th place finish, 11th, 17th, 19th, 11th last week the last time out at the 3M Open. He's obviously one of the world's best putters, and that's what this is going to kind of turn into, is who can make more putts. So I think Snedeker is very interesting to me as well in the mid-range.
Okay, well, a couple of guys here that I'll talk about. I like Kevin Streelman at 50-1.
Yeah,
I think that's a great number for him. He's a guy that this is just a great course fit, and he's obviously had a fantastic year. I love, by the way, the Schwarzel pick. I'm big on Charles this week. I think that is just an absolutely fantastic pick, and I'm totally in with you on that. Let me ask you this, okay? Let's get in. Let's get into something here.
Oh, okay.
This guy has not come up at all in any of the shows we've done this week or tonight. What do we think about betting Ricky Fowler at 55-1? Because I feel pretty good about it. I feel pretty good about a Ricky Fowler bet at 55-1. And we've seen him play a little bit better. I just, there's something about me that wants to play him. Now, maybe that should be a top 20 bet or first round leader or something like that. I don't know. I'm just saying Ricky Fowler interests me this week in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I mean, normally I feel like with Ricky, because he's such a fan favorite and people like to pull for him, so they're going to bet him. I feel like normally you get a shortened number on him. But I don't think, while I don't think 55 is a great number, I don't think it's a terrible number for Ricky. He's obviously highly motivated, and the putter has kind of started to come back around. Along the ball striking's kind of been there, and we've been waiting on the putter to come back, which is usually what he was known for. So 55-1, I don't hate it.
Okay.
I could see him being chalky in DFS. So if you want to fade him in DFS and have a little exposure to him in the betting market, I don't hate it. He's going to be motivated for sure. This could be his last event of the season if he doesn't get his butt in gear. So
Okay. All right. Well, I just wanted to ask about him. So
okay.
that's it for me in the mid-tier range. A little bit longer before we get to 100-1 and over. I like Patton Kizzire at 70-1. I know you're not a fan of him, but I like Kizzire. He checks a ton of boxes this week when you look at the ball striking stats, the approach stats, the putting stats on Bermuda. All of that works out in Kizzire's favor. But I mean, he can be a little bit. He's a frustrating player, but I do like Kizzire this week as well. Another guy that I think is a good play, like if we're going 100-1 in, I think is JT Poston, 80-1. He's won here before. He's obviously a friend of ours, and we so I'll just throw out that disclaimer. But we've seen some great recent form from him. Should have won a few weeks ago if he hadn't gotten that bullshit call. Did I say bullshit on the show?
Well, you just said it twice, so I don't know.
Anyway, the BS call on that out of bounds when he lost a few weeks ago. But outside of that, I do like JT Poston on this golf course and with his recent form. So there you go.
I'll give you one more inside of that 100-1 number. I like Doug Gim. The Texas Longhorn, Doug Gim, played here twice, missed the cut last year, finished T20 in his first time out at this golf course. But in the last 24 rounds, he's 23rd in strokes gained approach. He's 13th in fairways gained. He's putting the ball in the fairways. His irons are good. He's got to close the door with the putter. His putting kind of sucks. But, man, he can be good with his irons, right? So I think we have seen a lot of first-time winners at this event. This would be Doug Gim's first victory on the PGA Tour, and I think it could happen. As we get into the long shots, I like a lot of guys here. I'm going to try to contain myself. But one of the ones I like the most is Joel Damon. Joel Damon is 100-1, and he's playing lights out right now. He's in the birdie making mode, and he's coming off of a win a few weeks back in an alternate field event, his first PGA Tour victory. He had a chance to win on the weekend, this past weekend at the Barracuda. Ended up finishing T7. He's checking the box in fairways gained, checking the box in approach. It's all about the putter for Joel as well. But I love the value, the win equity that I think we now get with Joel as a PGA Tour winner at 100-1. I just like it. So yeah, I'm down with that. Let's see who else. Getting into the bombs here. I like Scott Stallings at 130-1. Scott's a stalwart on the PGA Tour, but he's in the bubble. He's in the bubble right now in terms of the top 125 FedEx Cup standings. He's currently at 117. He needs to stay in there, which he likely will, but everyone behind him in the rankings is playing this week. So they're all trying to pass him. But he's accurate. He's good with the irons. And he's proven himself on the PGA Tour over the long haul. I think he could get it done at 130-1. It wouldn't shock me to see Scott Stallings do something. And then I'm going to go Henrik Norlander at 150-1. I love Henrik here. Hard to find a player who's in the top 15 in this field over the last 24 rounds in fairways, hit, and approach play. And that's what you get with Norlander. And this season, he's had his chances. He's had like 2 chances late, final couple groups on a Sunday trying to get his first PGA Tour victory, and he hasn't quite been able to close the door, but I think he's learned a lot. And Bermuda is his best putting surface. He had a good showing at the Olympics. He's 150-1. I like Norlander a good bit here.
Okay. Well, I don't mind that. I got a few here that I'll give you. I'll start with Brian Stewart at 100-1. He's finished top 15 in his last 3 events. Brian Stewart is top 15.
Isn't it just painful to bet Brian Stewart, though?
It is. It's very painful. But look, I mean, I think if you're going to get a guy that might be a long shot, Jim Herman won here last year.
Yeah, with Brian, you're like, did I just bet on the guy that fixed my air conditioning unit?
Yeah,
last week. I feel like that was the name. That was the guy.
That's what you feel like with Brian Stewart. But
Does he have steel-toed boots on? Is he playing? Is nothing wrong with that?
I don't know. But if you don't want to bet him outright to win, do top 10, do top 20, whatever. But I still like him at 100 to 1 for Brian Stewart. Another guy, Patrick Rogers, 110 to 1. Now look, could he get a victory here? Like, he hasn't won on tour, I don't believe. And
he's been on tour for freaking 10 years.
And maybe this is the week that he does it, but I like him at 110 to 1 for Patrick Rogers. He's been playing well lately. He's made 8 straight cuts. He's threatened to win at some point this year. So I do like him at 110 to 1. And then if I'm going even longer, one guy that I just absolutely love this week, it's Sam Ryder at 180 to 1.
You love him?
Well, I don't want to marry him or anything, but I got to tell you.
Oh my God!
Sorry.
Such a professional operation. God.
Anyway, I got to sneeze again in a minute. Okay. Anyway, Sam
I think
Ryder.
you're allergic to Sam Ryder. I think
maybe I'm allergic to Sam
clearly
Ryder.
You're allergic to good bets because that's not what Sam Ryder and Patrick Rogers are.
So there you go. That's all I got. You go, because I got the sneezels.
Okay. All right. Well, before Pat has a sneezing fit and his heart stops, I have one more bomb outright and then a few top 20s will be done. KH Lee, now we're recording this on Monday night. Chances are you're watching this and the odds have shortened. KH Lee is 250 to 1 to win outright on DraftKings. That is at least 100 spots. Like, he's 150 to 1 or shorter everywhere else. KH Lee won in the middle of May at the Byron Nelson at a better field. He finished 6th 2 tournaments ago at the 3M Open. He finished runner-up back in February at the Waste Management Open. Like, KH Lee can play, especially on a course that rewards accuracy and precision. He can get hot for 1 week and do it. You know, odds are it's not going to happen, but he can get hot. 251 is a massive number for him at a golf course like this. He's also 10 to 1 as a top 20, and I like that. Another top 20 I like that's kind of a few longer shots here, top 20s. We mentioned Norlander at 6 to 1. Bryce Garnett is at 6 to 1. He's just inside the FedEx Cup.
I love Garnett this week.
Yep, just inside the FedEx Cup rankings. He's like a 119 out of 125. He needs a good week. Garnett loves an accuracy course. He's a great wedge player, good putter. He's a PGA Tour winner. So Garnett at 6 to 1. Joel Damon at 4 to 1. I've already talked ad nauseum at him. I think Damon at 4 to 1 is a good pick as well. So those are some top 20s. Pat, anything else that you got for the people, or you need to?
I'm done.
You're sneezing.
I'm done.
You done?
I'm sneezing. My
you done with the picks? You done with sneezing?
Me. Yeah, it's done.
God, what a crap show we are. All right, well, thanks for watching Tour Junkies After Dark. We'll be back the next 3 weeks. Next 3 weeks, we got the FedEx Cup playoffs, massive fields, great events coming up in the next 3 weeks. We're excited about it. Give it a thumbs up. Give it a subscribe if you haven't already, and check out all the content over on Tour Junkies YouTube channel as well. May your screens be green for the Wyndham Championship 2021. See ya!